Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Now, stand back for your own safety.
Steve, what's up?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Steve. Where Paulie at?
Here we go.
I'm checking out. I will respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Steve Infanti and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us. Alongside Paulie Sibilia, I'm Steve Infanti as we welcome you into a Monday edition of Orange Nation. That means we'll hear from Mike McAllister. He will be on with us coming up at 12:30. Plus, we'll mix in your phone calls throughout at 315-437-7644. What's up, Paulie?
Not much, Steve. Same, different Monday, same story.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah. 85-76 loss over the weekend to Miami, a game in which Syracuse never led, spotted them a 9-0 lead, and did come back and pull even, but Miami was the better team, and Miami won by 9 as Cuse drops below 500 in conference play, now 3-4, and they've got NC State on the road tomorrow. We'll certainly get into that and all of the storylines that go into that one with Cuse going up against Quadir Copeland and Will Wade and company down there in Raleigh. But we begin by talking about a Miami game that you're right. It kind of felt like the same old story.
Well, they fixed the problem that they've had the past two games, and then they just get decimated on the boards. Now, Miami's a big team, but that's not an excuse. You turn the ball over 6 times, you turn the opposing team over 16 times. We've seen that work against Syracuse where you win the game, but then you get beat on the boards 37-21 and just erases all of the turnovers that Miami made.
Yeah. Miami with 13 second chance points to just 4 for Syracuse, so there's the 9-point margin right there. And you're right, rebounding was a main concern. Miami shot the ball great. We were talking before the show, and you said, well, they don't shoot a lot of threes, and you're right, but even the ones they did take, they went 7 for 13 from three-point range. And that's one of the things that has stood out to me of late, Paulie, is that, you go back to the beginning of the season, and what was this team's identity? It was they got after you defensively, at the very least, right? We said defensively, this team we thought was pretty good. And as the season has gone on, and I don't know what the reason is for it, we could speculate what the reason is, but that defensive intensity has not been what we saw at the beginning of the year. And, they give up 85 points to Miami. The Canes shot 61%. That was not what Syracuse was all about earlier in the season. And that's hard to make up for, Miami shot it great, rebounded great, and, Cuse was unable to close the gap because of those two categories.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's a dead horse at this point. They've got to play better on defense. They've got to play better on offense. And they've just, they're a very big physical team, and Syracuse is very much an athletic, lean team, and you've got to be able to make up for that in ways, that they were unable to. They got shoved around. They were out-physicaled in that game, and that can happen. And I see Griffin say, talent-wise, Miami is not better. Do people realize that, I think there's this disconnect in people out there. Like, Miami had transfers that played at Michigan and Indiana and actually played for them last year, whereas Syracuse's transfer portal was guys that people were making fun of in our chat when they signed them, like William Kyle and Tyler Betsy, who weren't sniffing the floor at their previous schools. Miami has a ton of money and gets good players, guys. They've only lost 3 games or 4 games, whatever it is. It's not by fluke.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was a huge talent disparity.
There's not, but it's just this weird misnomer that Syracuse is up there with Miami when it comes to money and talent. It's just It's nuts.
Right. And we since you brought it up there, we got a lot of pushback on Friday when we were asked the question
by a guy we've never talked to in our lives.
Never talked to him before, just happened to have him on. And he posed the question to us, where do you think SU is in the pecking order? We said middle of the pack. You said 10th. And again, I think we're right there. I think they are middle of the pack, and Miami is in the upper echelon. But now, with that being said, that's not an excuse. I think that's just a fact.
The other thing, I want to hit on this too. It was said Randolph Childress said the offense is bad. They've got to fix it.
Yeah.
You can't lose games to Hofstra and BC and the teams that are less than you. It's not like it was some glazing story, as the kids call it.
It wasn't at all. It was the opposite. And I think people heard that one clip and got all over Randolph Childress. Like, here we go again. His point was, again, Syracuse is in the middle of the pack in the ACC from a NIL perspective. But I think this year, again, they got talent. Like, there wasn't a huge talent discrepancy between Miami and Syracuse. Miami played better than them, and Miami is better than them right now. And there are a lot of reasons for why that is. But Miami out-executed them. They rebounded. They shot the ball well. And, and Syracuse just couldn't make up the difference.
No, they got the bottom line in this game was you were going into this game where Miami has a bunch of dudes that are football player bodies, and they got shoved around, and they should have been ready and known that was coming, and they weren't, and they got out-rebounded 37-21.
Yeah.
And is that coaching? Yeah, probably, that they weren't able to. The one thing you knew, it's very frustrating. You say you can't turn over the ball. They turn the ball over 6 times, and then they just go out and get completely out physical.
They did switch to zone when they were in trouble there in the first half. They're down 20-10, and they switched to zone at that point. And then they started to chip away at the lead. They started to get some misses. The problem was that when we saw them play a bunch of zone possessions in a row, then they had a difficult time getting rebounds, right? They forced some misses out of the zone, but then they had trouble rebounding out of the zone. So, I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And again, Miami's a very good offensive team, and they looked the part certainly on Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm not making it's absolutely shameful that this little man with a nonstop glazing and excuses I'm not making excuses for the coaching staff. There's multiple factors in everything. The offense has been bad. They got completely out-rebounded. Is that on coaching? Yes. I'm not making excuses. I'm just stating facts for you guys. I'm giving you the whole picture that you guys don't want to see.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. That's Cash in Syracuse kicking us off on the show. Cash, what's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So love your show, first of all. Listen to it all the time.
Thanks.
You're a smart man.
I am. Very intelligent.
Yes.
So I'm frustrated just like everybody else is. But I do feel like the accountability needs to be spread out a little bit more. Like, obviously, some of it on the coaching, some of it's on the players, but I also think some of it's on the fans. I was at the game, and so when they're doing the player introductions and everything, I'm clapping and I'm excited, and I feel like I'm in a freaking library. Like, no one, like, I feel like I'm too loud. The people next to me are like looking at me when I'm clapping and being positive. And then you got all the, fire Autry and all that. I just feel like the fans need to be a little bit better. And I'm going to draw this comparison. Maybe it's a dumb comparison. You guys let me know if it's dumb. So I'm in the YMCA basketball league, okay?
Uh-huh.
And there's this guy on my team, multiple guys on my team, who just are like the most negative people, and they're like, "Oh, you missed the foul shot. You should have made the foul shot. Oh, you missed the layup. Why did you turn the ball?" And when there's so much negativity, it's so much harder to play. And you're thinking about all the mistakes that you could be making, as opposed to people being behind you and supporting you. So that's all I got.
All right, I appreciate you checking in, Cash.
I'm not ready to blame the fans for what's happening. Is the atmosphere in the dome a problem? Yeah. Is it just the fans? No, I think it's a bad. The product on the court is bad, and I just don't think they do a great job of entertaining people in the dome while the games are going on either. And it's not 1982 anymore where people just.
I would say this.
Come and have fun.
I don't think it's the fans' fault. There is definitely negativity around this team, obviously. I mean, we experience it every day for
You're
2
allowed
hours
to
on
be
the
negative.
show. Right, and that's where I'm going with that. Is that I get why fans are upset and disappointed, but both things can be true. Like, I think Cash is right in that obviously the players are feeling, and this isn't even necessarily from the fans. I think just from they're not meeting their own expectations. They're not meeting the fans' expectations. And when that happens, you can play tight. Sometimes it is good. You hear sometimes it's good to get on the road and get away from home. I don't think that's the issue with this team. I think that is one of the issues with this team, right, is that they feel an immense amount of pressure at the moment. Anybody who's in a slump is going to do that. I don't think that's why they're necessarily playing like they are, but there's no doubt that they hear it and feel it. And, you listen to the comments after the game, the players being asked about Autry and whatnot. Collectively, they feel the pressure.
Yeah, and of course the players are going to defend their team and their coach, right? Are you hearing things?
I'm getting some feedback, yes.
Yeah, that's weird.
Not sure why.
I'm hearing phone in my ear, and there's no phone.
I was hearing phone and then some static as well. So I don't know if one of our mics is having some trouble.
Look, guys, we try and paint the whole picture for you. It's not great right now. We get that. It's just there are factors, and when we have a guest on we've never spoken to in our life, and he asks us where Syracuse ranks in the NIL, and I say 10th. I didn't just pull that out of my, fanny. It's what I think where they are. And if people want me to go through what I think they are spending wise, I'm more than willing to. Because if I was GM, it's what I would have spent on the team. So we could do that after the break. It's
yeah, and I don't think it's an NIL issue. I do think last year you could point to and say, this roster was not good enough.
This is where the problem is, Steven. I think you're going to say it. Like, this roster's good enough to be a top 6-7 team in the ACC, maybe even top 5. Absolutely, yes. But it's not starters from Indiana. It's not, you gotta look at it realistically. And if a new coach comes in, Syracuse University has got to fix this problem also, besides the coaching. We're not defending it. It's got to be fixed. And I think that people think this is a top 5 ACC roster. I doubt that, because Louisville's better, Duke's better, and UNC's probably better, Virginia's probably better, and they all have enormous NIL. Miami's probably better. They have an enormous NIL pocket.
Well, I think we looked at it at the beginning of the season, and we said they're not cracking the top 4. Could they be 5, 6, or 7? And I think that it was realistic that this team could have been 5, 6, or 7 in the conference, and that has not happened.
Griffin says they act like Syracuse basketball is Lemoyne. No, it's just they need to get better and be able. You can't have an NIL low. You have to have it high, no matter who the coach is. And the next coach will probably struggle if they don't get it fixed. If Red's not here, it will a new coach bring in more NIL? You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope people...
You would think that, logically speaking, you bring in somebody that excites the fan base, you're going to get some more NIL right off the bat and see, the roster they put together and see how they do.
And Andrea in our chat says, we lost to Hofstra because of NIL. Do you guys listen to what we say?
No, I don't think they do because they're saying we're blaming NIL. And I literally just said this is the roster was talented enough. Yeah. This isn't about NIL. But if you think that SU's top 5 in NIL, you're wrong.
You have to beat Hofstra. You have to beat the BCs. You have to, because it's the coaching is to blame also, guys. Yes.
This team is good enough to finish 5, 6, or 7 in the conference, and they're most likely, barring a miracle, they're not going to do that.
Yes, they are.
Right. So
they are.
It is not an NIL thing, but yeah.
Everybody was laughing at William Kyle when they signed him, and he's much better. So they've done a good job of finding people also. Coach is the number one blame. Okay, that is fine to say. That's fine to say, guys. Yeah, we get it. You guys just have to look at the big picture, because even if the coach leaves, you got to get the NIL up, and that's on the university.
Let's go to the phone lines. Ryan in Boston is up next. Ryan, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Good afternoon. I agree with a couple things you were just saying, and I was hoping to talk about some player talent. If I keep going on, just cut me off if you need to. But I think that in 2 ways. One, we actually got a couple really good steals and did really well with NIL, and William Kyle and then Nate Kings. I think there's the two undervalued guys that we got.
Very true.
But at the same time, and this might be a hot take that gets me flamed in the comments here, I think that Donnie and JJ and Nate George were all overvalued. And I say that because you can say, sure, the McDonald's All-American, yada, yada, yada. But only for so long can you say, hey, they're really talented, but they're not performing. At a certain point, it turns into they're not performing because they're overvalued. Do you disagree or agree with that?
I think Donnie's a really good player. I think he hasn't played well the last 3 games, but, and he got hurt, unfortunately, at the beginning of the season. So we don't have the full sample size that we wish we had. I 100% agree with you on Nathan George. I think he's been a major disappointment for what they thought they were getting in terms of what they ended up getting. He's been a major disappointment. And JJ is a head scratcher, right? I mean, I feel like he has regressed.
I think Donnie's been fine.
I think Donnie's been fine, too. He's had a bad week. I mean, right? I mean, go ahead.
He's had a bad week, but also what I'll say is, everyone's saying, oh, he's, NBA draft caliber. Every single draft board I'm looking at right now, he's falling off every single draft board.
He has. As the season has gone on. Beginning of the year, he was like second round. And yes, you're right. And then, obviously, of late, he's fallen off.
Right, and the durability issue is also an issue. I'm not going to blame a kid that's, how old is he, like 19, 20 years old or something, but... he missed half of the first season, half of this season so far. He's a lot of turnovers. I mean, JJ's just completely fallen off. So I think I'll give him a final point here and let you guys go, or let myself go. But what I'm trying to say here is everyone's saying, oh, this team's good enough, really talented, et cetera. Maybe they're talented enough to be like seventh in the ACC, as you're saying. Seventh in the ACC is not necessarily an at-large bid to the tournament. That's still debatably bubble. So I think we got to do better. I think people need to realize Autry's principal job of being talent recruitment and identifying who's going to be, best. That's where he's dropped the ball, and I think that's why he needs to go. But end of the day, I don't think we have the talent everyone says we have. Thanks for taking my call. Have a great day.
Right. I think last year's roster was so bad that everybody thinks this is like all of a sudden the 2003 team. It's not. I think this team is talented enough to make the tournament.
Agreed.
And that is a problem on the coaches. I also think there's this misnomer out there that Syracuse is spending tons of money and has like great players at every position.
I think this team is talented enough to make the tournament as well, and that's why we said at the beginning of the year that we were going to have, I think, a fair representation of what this coaching staff could do, right? Because, year one, it was the right year right after Boeheim. That roster was kind of wonky. The second year, NIL was not up to speed. Donnie got hurt. JJ got hurt. This year, you felt like, okay, if they could stay healthy, and they have for the most part outside of Donnie's 9-game stretch, if they stay healthy, the talent is there for this team to make a run at the tournament.
Yeah.
And at the moment, that has not happened.
And that's what I said. When I said tournament, I said 8, 9, 10 seed. But that's what they got to do, and they're just not there. You can't lose to Hofstra. I get that. You can't.
Hofstra and BC. Again, you change the outcomes of those 2 games, the worst team in the Big East, and,
ACC.
Sorry. Yes.
Way to go back to the glory days.
Thank you. Worst team in the ACC, and, you lose to Hofstra. If you flip those to wins, the resume looks different right now, but you can't do that,
Somebody
obviously.
Posted the other day a picture of the dome filled at the Duke game, 2014, and said, look at how far our mighty program has fallen. I can tell you honestly, and you fans may not want to hear this, and it's Syracuse would not have had that team if NIL existed in 2014.
Yeah. It's a fair point.
You couldn't afford that team.
Yeah.
That roster was probably $15 million.
Yeah. Coach Boeheim has said that, right?
Yeah. So, it's a different world, and Syracuse has to figure out a way to compete in the NIL. The coaching has to I'm not making excuses for anything. I'm just pointing out all of the problems, guys. The coaching's the problem. The players are the problem. The NIL's the problem. It's not glazing anyone. There's a lot of fixing that needs to happen with this program.
Yeah. All right, let's get one more phone call in before we take our first timeout. Pat, what's going on?
Oh, you guys haven't had a timeout? Jeez.
No, now we need one.
I'll have to play really nice today, so I will do my best. It's a snowy Monday, the reality is this is not fun for anybody. It's not fun for you guys, I have more fun watching Paulie bounce around the bubble and all that fun stuff, and that's not in the cards this year. But I I think after really kind of observing all the different angles of the situation, it all comes down to one thing. It's leadership. There's always a lot of moving parts. You guys just hit on 3 or 4 of them, and you need a leader to sort things out. And unfortunately, Red is not doing that. Here is an indication that I want to go over with you. Go back to the JJ missed dunk, okay? Mm-hmm. For him to say to the public that there's nothing he would tell him to do differently, just make it, is an asinine statement. I mean, it really is.
Why is that? Because let me ask you why you would do that. Because if he makes that dunk, the crowd goes nuts, right? You completely change the momentum.
Okay, here's the reality. JJ misses a lot of dunks because he has small hands. He's missed a lot of dunks in his career. In fact, the best dunk he had in the Dome was in a Notre Dame uniform. So that's what I'm speaking about, okay? So what he should say is just finish it hard. Don't cock it back and try a Sports Center tomahawk. Just make the play. Just finish the play. Okay. That's what a coach needs to say. That was a hot dog, stupid dunk. And it really summarizes our season. It summarizes JJ, and it summarizes the coach. And I don't know how you guys could.
That dunk had nothing to
say anything else.
That dunk that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If he makes the dunk,
I'm not saying it was the only reason.
He's just got to finish. He's just got to make the dunk.
There you are, overgeneralizing what I'm saying to you. All I'm saying to you,
you just said it was the whole season encapsulated.
No, I'm saying it's symbolic. It is a symbol of the season. I'm not saying that the whole season was changed because of this one play. I mean, is this literally what you're hearing?
Dude, they got out-rebounded. No, that's what you said. They went 37-21 in rebounding. They got out-physical to the coach.
Your interpretation stinks.
Things were going so well between you and Pat, too. And then
did he not just say that? His hands are too small. I'm sorry I haven't measured J.J. Starling's hands. They got out-rebounded 37-21. The coach didn't have them ready to go out and play a physical team.
So let me try to to soften the mood here for a second. So he said it's symbolic, right? In a way, it kind of is that
they missed a dunk.
It's a missed opportunity that they should have taken advantage. It's kind of like the Houston game, right? They should have won that game if not for making a free throw. It's a dunk. It's supposed to be an easy 2. Yes. It came at a critical time in the game. It's 59-55. Kyan had just made a 3. You make that dunk there. It's a 2-point game. The place is going nuts. Instead, he misses it. They go down. They hit a 3 at the other end. It goes from 2 to 7.
I wasn't getting cooked, guys. It's a dumb take.
So, this is one of those cases where I think sometimes, you guys don't hear what the other one is saying. And, I understand what you're saying, Paulie, and I think what Pat was saying was that it was a microcosm of missed opportunities, and they're right there, and then one play happens, and then the game immediately goes in another direction. And we've seen a lot of that this year.
JJ should know better. His hands are too small. Is that what I'm getting out of that? He shouldn't try and dunk there because his hands are too small.
Or, like he said,
just make the damn dunk.
So don't cock it back. Like, just go up and finish it. However you need to finish it, you finish it.
But you also got to realize he's a kid, and it would have electrified the Dome, and it could have changed
more
momentum.
so than just a layup.
Yes. I mean, come on. That's the play that stands out.
It's unfortunate because listen, it was a turning point. It goes from you make that it's a 2-point game, you don't, and it's 7.
How about you go zone and you immediately lose the one shooter on the court?
Can't do that. Yep, can't do that.
Yeah, and that is coaching. Those guys got to know who the shooter is.
Yeah, just to go back to that missed dunk. Again, if he makes it, it's 2. It goes to 7. Syracuse never got closer than 6 after that. That was a big play. I'm not saying it was the only play. It was definitely a big play in the game.
Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
Rob, what's going on?
We got to take a break.
Hey, what's going on? Look, that shot has to be made. Okay, period. Lay it in. Get the 2 points. I get what Paulie's saying, the outcome of the game with the fans going crazy. That may not necessarily change the outcome of the game just because the fans are going crazy. The basket's got to be made. There's no discipline on this team. And I love Red, but I'm sorry, man. He's not a coach. He's a great recruiter, period. Love you guys.
Okay, that's a fair take.
All right, we are desperately up against the timeout. So that was our opening drive. It's brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. We've got Mike McAllister coming up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Catch the Syracuse basketball.
I'll go back. You guys are now playing like naive to the fact that people didn't think William Kyle was a bad signing. We can't have a 6'9" center. That's all everybody said.
I'm okay with him going for the dunk there, but instead of making it a 10, he's just making a 5.
Make the fucking dunk.
And make the dunk. Right.
His hands are too small.
Yeah, the Philly, there was definitely pushback from some just about, well, he didn't play UCLA and, he was in the Summit League. Like, there was definitely some of that.
Guys, come on.
There was definitely some of that.
And if you think he's making over $500,000, you're crazy, too. He's probably making 1 to 2.
Oh, right. That was the other thing, the size, right?
No, it was me. That was me, Florida guy. Students start on the 2nd. There is zero chance a guy who played 3 minutes is making $800,000. How much money do you think they have, guys? I would say Syracuse is in the $6.5 to $7 million range right now, and Cayenne's probably not getting anything out of the pool. Andrew, if you don't want to hear about the NIL, the coaching's been bad. The NIL's bad also. Both are a thing. No, there's zero chance they have the NIL for that roster. Do you guys know how you guys clearly don't know how NIL works. They brought in 2 centers. It's my show. I'll cut off who I want. Oh, I got a Darth Vader doll for the studio. I got to bring it.
Did you see that picture of Scotty Scheffler playing, and there was somebody in a Darth Vader costume following him around on the course?
Yeah, you can't lose to Hofstra. How many times do we have to say it? Yeah, he's probably going to get fired if they don't make the tournament, Andre, or whatever the hell your name is. You hung up on me? Oh, let's check the video on that, Pat. Oh, no. Fire me. I don't know how to run the board. Just doing my Spotify again, Steve. This is on fire. Do you like this one? Weezer, Say It Ain't So?
I'm okay with this song.
Say It Ain't So. Yeah. All right. Hear me out. I'm going to say this one more time. The coaching's been bad. The players have been bad. the NIL was bad. All three are true. All right? Can't lose to Hofstra, can't lose to BC. Got to be ready for a physical team. You know, the mistakes they make can't continue to happen. Probably end of season, if Red isn't in the tournament, he's going to get fired. It's not going to happen mid-season. All right? The AD has come on our show and said meaningful games in March. I don't know what they are, but it doesn't look like they're targeted to play them this year.
Yeah, it does not feel like the case at the moment. Unless they go on some sort of miraculous run in the month of February, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, I think we all see it's where it's going. And, you know, I mean, the players are being asked about it now, and everybody knows, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to help you guys out. Like, say everybody that wants Red fired, it happens, right? They got to get the NIL better. There's a program problem here.
And I would say that the NIL certainly was better than it was last year, right? I mean,
and the roster's better.
The roster is better as a result.
And it's a roster that should not lose to Hofstra and BC.
Correct. That can happen.
Yeah.
Can happen. And it did.
Let's take another time out because we went long in the first segment.
Mike
and we'll
McAllister.
get Mike McAllister when we come back.
All right. Mike McAllister joins us on the other side. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
The chat was right about what? Hands too small IPA. How big are his hands? I'm going to shake his hand next time I see him. That's very much possible, Philly's Most Wanted. It could, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that because there isn't like some large pool of money that's just waiting for Red to get fired. I like a man with big hands, Steve, and a slow hand. I like a man with a slow hand.
Pointer Sisters, right? Is that who it was? Yeah, Philly, that's a fair point. Kevin, how did I sleep? You know what? I had back-to-back nights where I actually slept well. I did not sleep well last night. But the previous two nights, I actually did sleep well. Yeah, Supercat, that game was hard to watch yesterday. I think Bills fans and Texans fans were both probably watching that game.
Texans would have loved that condition.
I mean, but defensively, like they would have, that's a game they could have won. Yeah, that was hard to watch yesterday.
Did you guys know that Pat makes every player draw a turkey with their hand prior to the season? So he knows who's got the biggest turkey so that he can critique the donkey.
That was funny. I get what he was saying, though.
I know. Make the dunk, all right? But in the middle of a game, the bottom line is it's coaching, and it's got to get better, and it's talent, and it's got to get better. Andre, I'm here to entertain people. His small hands is a funny thing, dude. That one play isn't the game. It's they got out rebounded and just out physicaled. They lost the shooter in the zone. Like there's so many other more important plays than that dunk. I just look at it as bad luck. Like they're on top of not living up to their talent, they're just snake bitten. He probably makes that dunk 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times any other year.
As frequently as possible. Then, as it becomes easier for you,
you know this one?
Play the record once a day or as needed.
Nothing, Steve, feels good today.
Tony
has done it again. Bang. Our chemistry's still good. I would have dunked it with my tiny little hands.
Well, you would have probably gone 2 hands if you got up that high, right?
Oh, yeah, with a tennis ball.
You're probably not cocking it back.
He probably makes that dunk 10 out of 10 times any other year. It's just this year. Right?
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not the problem in the game. That's one missed shot.
I know. But again, you're both right. Like, you're right that it's one missed shot. Pat's right in that it was a turning point in the game.
In the heat of the moment, do you want him to just decide?
No, I'm agreing with both of you. Like, yes, it's one missed shot. It's not why they lost. You make that, though, it's a 2-point game. The place is going berserk.
But you also,
who knows what
if
happens
Cayenne gets out on the shooters in the zone.
I'm not saying it's the reason they lost. It was a turn. They never got closer than 6 after that happened.
I can tell you what it was.
That's a turning point.
37-21.
What's 37? Oh, the
rebounding.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that was a huge factor in the game. Miami shot 61%. That's a huge factor in the game.
They do that against everybody, though, because they
didn't do it against Florida State. I watched that game. They were awful.
Everybody loses to bad teams, too.
Yep. Well, not everybody.
In the league, except for Duke. Let's go to Mike McAllister.
Mike McAllister joining us now. Mike, where do we go? Let's just start with your takeaways, I guess, from this Miami game, and what stood out to you from the game.
The biggest takeaway for me was that I was disappointed with how they started the game, down 9-0 the first few minutes in, and Red has to call a timeout. I was kind of half expecting them to come out and play with their hair on fire, right? Because they lost the game to Virginia Tech, a game they thought they should have won. The chatter about Red and the program and everything else is getting louder with each loss. And so I would have figured the competitive nature, the wanting to play for your coach, wanting to play for each other, et cetera, with, a good team coming in, that they would have been the team that came out, got off to a hot start, and then made Miami play catch up. And I thought that was their best chance to win it as well. And so to have them come out not that way, almost the opposite of that way, ultimately the rest of the game was essentially even, and that 9-0 start was something they were never able to overcome.
Yeah, and Steve and I were talking about this prior to the game. Nate George just comes out, and he's basically the reason they're up 9-0 because he gives them 2 turnovers immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, when your starting point guard is doing stuff like that, it's not great. I don't know exactly what the answer is, because then after that, when they got back into the game, he hit a couple of threes and helped them get, make a little run to get back into it. So there's, the good and the bad there. But I've been advocating for more JJ playing the point. I think there's different things you can do with the lineup behind that. And that's not saying that you're going to all of a sudden not start George or not play him at all, but I think especially matchup dependent, there's certain times when that might be more beneficial to the team as a whole. And George had some okay moments in that game, but turned it over too many times. And I thought defensively they really struggled. They forced more turnovers than they had in recent games, but they just were not contesting. And I think given how easily it seemed Miami was getting into the lane and getting to the rim,
not having William Kyle out there for long stretches, especially in the second half, I think really hurt them as well.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. With J.J. Moore at the one, and I do wonder, as this season progresses, if you see that, if you see Kine at the 2, J.J. at the 1, and Nate George on the bench a little bit more than we're used to seeing, if he continues to turn it over like this, because 2 turnovers in the first 3 minutes, in a blink of an eye you're down 9-0, and you never lead the entire game. I brought up the point about the defense, Mike, and at the beginning of the season and on that Vegas trip, even though Donnie wasn't out there, we looked at it and we said, this team gets after you defensively, and when Donnie comes back, if they continue to play defense like this, they're going to be a difficult team to beat. Miami shot 61%, and we've seen during this rough stretch that the defense just hasn't been as suffocating as it was at the beginning of the season. What do you think has happened on that end of the floor?
I mean, to me, it doesn't necessarily seem like a schematic thing as much as it seems like an energy and enthusiasm thing. I mean, you can talk about whether or not you should switch from man to zone more often, and depending on the opponent you're playing against, and if Miami's getting in the lane, maybe you play zone to try to keep them away from doing that. But again, Miami's a good 3-point shooting team, so there's a double-edged sword there. You can discuss all of those things. Some of it does have to do with, personnel you have in the game at certain times, right? Kine's not as good of a defender as someone like a Nate Kings, for example. Tyler Betsy has some limitations on the defensive end. But at the same time, those guys were playing early in the season, and it wasn't an issue like this. They were just really focusing and going all in on that end. And I don't know where that same level of energy and enthusiasm has been. I know Red has said it's hard to play that way for 40 minutes, but we saw them do that early in the season. The first 4 games of the year, the game against Houston, even against Kansas, first half against Iowa State before they ran out of gas, and then even against Tennessee, we saw that for large stretches of that game. So not exactly sure where it's gone, but it really hasn't been the same since that Tennessee game.
How about the play of Donnie of late? We saw when he came back, he obviously went on that run where he was fantastic. They won 3 games in a row, and I don't think it's a coincidence that, again, I'm not putting the blame on Donnie, but they need him to be good in order to beat teams, and he has not played well the last 3 games. He said afterwards he was a little too passive in this game. What do you make of, I guess, the way he's playing? Is it, everybody's focused on him right now, saying anybody but Donnie's going to beat us, and he's just not handling it well? What do you think has been the difference between that 3-game winning streak to this 3-game losing streak?
There's probably a little bit of everything in there. Donnie was playing so well, especially, the second half against Clemson and the next 2 games after that seeing him keep up that level of play for the rest of the season without any, to steal one of Red's terms, without any dips, it was probably unrealistic. But 3 games in a row is a little bit concerning. I agree with him in that I think, there were times in those games where he was a little bit passive. At the same time, sometimes, players just have little mini slumps where they're not hitting shots, right? Like, I don't recall from the last 3 games feeling like he was taking really bad shots. I thought a few times against Virginia Tech, they did a good job of giving him the ball kind of on the elbow in a one-on-one situation, and those are matchups you expect him to win more often than not. And sometimes the ball just isn't falling for you. So, if he can turn this around, get back to being aggressive and playing with that same level of energy that we saw the game against Pitt and the game against Georgia Tech, then I expect that he will bounce back and get back to that version of who Donnie Freeman is.
How about Tyler Betsy? That's been a topic on this show in terms of, like, if you're looking at switching up the lineup and changes you could make or breathe some life into it. Tyler Betsy is a guy who has shown when he's hitting shots, he can catch fire and he can certainly provide a spark. Do you foresee him maybe getting some added minutes as things move along here?
Possibly. I think it may depend on the type of team you're playing against. If you're playing against, for example, the next game that they're playing is at NC State. So NC State's a good offensive team. You're going to need to be able to score in order to keep pace with them. So is that a game that's more suited for a Tyler Betsy? because his offensive prowess can help keep you in a game, as opposed to playing one of these, bogged down, slow tempo defensive games where him being out there maybe is a bit more of a liability. There might be some matchup dependencies with Tyler Betsy, but there's no question that when he's been out there and he's getting shots, more than just one or two shots in a game, but they're actively looking to try to get him open shots, he's hit them in a very high clip and certainly gives them a big spark off the bench. So I'm all for giving him more of those opportunities.
All right, in terms of the coaching staff right now, and you've heard all the noise as well, I'm sure from the fan base and whatnot, and when you look at the job that they are doing, what is the biggest thing at the top of your list in terms of, I wish Red would do this differently moving forward? What's at the top of the list for you?
I mean, if I had to pick one thing, I guess it would be I kind of go back and forth between halftime adjustments and or some of the rotations, the substitution patterns. There's times where, we talked about it in the past. JJ's playing well in the first few minutes of the game and then gets subbed out. Maybe a little bit more feel for this guy's hot, I can't take him out. Or against a team that has a couple of bigs in foul trouble. So even though at that point you were planning on resting Donnie Freeman for a few minutes, maybe at that point you say, you know what, now is when we need to smell blood in the water and go after it. And without a couple of their big interior defenders out there, we're going to throw Donnie back out and let him try to go to work. Or, something like against Miami, their point guard is getting in the lane. We need to stop that somehow. Either that means go to zone, or, hey, Bryce Zephyr was really good at keeping their point guard out of the lane in the first half. Maybe we need to throw him back out there for a few minutes just to frustrate him. Little things like that. There's no resistance at the rim. We need to get William Kyle back out there to give us some. Stuff like that, I think, would be the biggest thing that could help this team moving forward.
How much do you think coaching plays into the fact that maybe this team comes out and is behind 9-0? Do you think is it up to a coach to have the guys ready?
Yeah, I think there's some blame on both sides of that, right? Like, the players, I know Boeheim has always said that players are responsible for motivating themselves, that he's never been the, rah-rah type of coach before games to get players motivated to play, that they should be plenty motivated themselves. And I agree with that to some extent, but I also think if you're a coach and you're noticing that there's an issue with the starts of games, then you got to try to do something to help fix that. Maybe that is trying to come up with something to have them come out and playing with their hair on fire a little bit at the start of games. Hadn't been something that I had noticed previously as being an ongoing issue. It just, it happened against Miami and was something that they couldn't overcome. But, the players at the end of the day, you got to come out and play with pride, play with energy, play with enthusiasm for your teammates, for the team that you're representing on your jersey, for the name on the back of the jersey. Like, anytime you have an opportunity to come out and play, you're putting your own game on tape, whether it's for Syracuse to play you more for the rest of this season, whether it's for transferring to another place after this season, whether it's going pro, NBA, Europe, G League, whatever. Everything that you do is on tape and is part of that evaluation process, and you want to do everything you can to represent yourself well. And I think that coming out and playing hard and playing desperate is part of that, and I would like to see that from Syracuse in the next few games.
Yeah, it does seem like that's lacking right now, that urgency, the desperation that you would think they would feel right now. What were you going to say, Paul?
No, I'm torn on this. Like, I get it. It's just, if they're not ready, it's on somebody. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to come out with that energy level, more than once, right?
I mean, I think the blame falls on everybody. I think it's the coaches and I think it's the players, and it's a collective thing. They're in this thing together, and 9-0 is not acceptable. And then, again, they're playing uphill the rest of the way, pulled even, but never pulled ahead in a game that they absolutely needed. So it would be nice to see them play with a little bit more urgency. The players take ownership of that. The coaches take ownership of it. I know everybody's trying, obviously, but there's, you use the word disconnect, and, Red didn't agree with that, but it does seem like there is there's a disconnect.
There's clearly a disconnect between the coaching staff and the players on certain
It seems
things.
like it. It seems like it. Mike, let's switch gears quickly while we have you. Did you hear our interview with Fran Brown last week?
I heard pieces of it. I didn't hear the entire thing.
Oh, I'm going to hang up on him.
I was going to ask you if anything stood out to you, but we'll put that aside because this kind of did come up in the interview, not this specific example, but I'm sure you heard Dabo go off about tampering. Yes, you heard this in the last few days. Listen, recruiting is your area of expertise. How much is this happening, and how big of a problem is it? And I guess most importantly, do you have any ideas on how we fix it? Dabo said, coaches got to call out other coaches. How big of a problem is it, and how do we fix it collectively?
It is a big problem, and I don't think it's limited to a player signing with someone during the portal window and then another school saying, hey, let's see if we can get you out of that so you can come here. This type of stuff happens during the season, right? So, and you look at the situation with Duke and Miami with Mensa and Miami basically tampering to get him to enter the portal there by offering a ton of money from what it sounds like, or at least that's what Duke is alleging. It's a major problem. Now, how do you fix it? I think you have to there has to be some level of accountability when coaches or agents or GMs, representatives, whoever it is that is communicating with agents of players or directly with players. There has to be a harsh enough punishment to stop it. And I don't know whether that means, major fines or taking away roster spots instead of, scholarships as it used to be. I don't know exactly what the answer is or what that punishment is, but maybe you limit how many players a certain team can take in the transfer portal if they're found to be tampering with things. Like, I'm not exactly sure where the answer is, but there has to be something harsh enough that it becomes a deterrent. And even still, you're going to find people that are going to try to skirt the rules. The other way you do it is when you have people signing these NIL contracts that there isn't a buyout to them. Now, I know that that's going to go against what a lot of people want because they want there to be freedom of movement and things that are fair to the players and you don't want to hold players hostage, so to speak. But there's got to be something that prevents this from happening. And when someone signs somewhere and they're in the portal noted as such and they're at that school starting to take classes and you have a head coach texting them saying, what's your buyout? Let's get you out of that and we're going to offer you a ton more money to come here. There should be severe punishment for stuff like that because all of these coaches know that once a player is noted as signed inside the transfer portal, that means you are not supposed to be able to contact them. And so to have text messages where you see that contact happening, basically not caring about any of those rules, if you want to be serious and you want to try to limit this from continuing to happen or happening more so, there has to be a significant punishment to any coaches that are found, whatever process that is, a court hearing or whatever it is. There has to be a significant punishment so that it stops this from happening. Because if there isn't, there's essentially a slap on the wrist or less. It's going to happen more and more and more and more.
Mike, I want to get your perspective on one thing, too, before we let you go. Did you see our clip with Randolph Childress?
I did, yeah.
Okay. If he had asked you that question on the spot without you knowing it was coming, what would you have answered? Where does Syracuse rank basketball NIL?
I would have guessed middle of the pack of the ACC was kind of what my gut feeling is without having
10th?
all the figures.
9th or 10th?
Yeah, somewhere. I would say somewhere in the 7 to 10 range is kind of probably where I would guess.
Okay.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the answer is, and I could be wrong, but that's at least my impression. And I think with the guys that they got this year, I don't think you could have gotten some of the players that they did out of the portal and retain JJ and Donnie without having enough money to not be at the very bottom of the league in the NIL.
It's clearly more than the two they had the year before.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Yes, definitely.
All right, Mike. Great stuff as always. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Mike McAllister joining us here on the show. Before we hit our next timeout, let's get to the market as we bring on our good friend Lee from Lee Baldwin and Company. Lee, what's going on? How's the market as we kick off the new week?
We are kicking off the new week. Hello, guys. The stocks are higher today. It's led by the NASDAQ, up 146 points, or a little over 0.5% this morning. And our diamond has to be gold, which is at an all-time high now, over, if you can believe it, guys, $5,000 per ounce. Wow. And then we have to have a dog if we have a diamond. Booz Allen just had all their government contracts canceled with the Treasury Department. I guess Donald Trump didn't like his tax returns being released or something of the sort. So that'll take a stock down 11%. And there you have it.
All right, Lee. As always, we appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
All right. All the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com. Had some music playing in the background.
Yeah, it sounded like angels were coming down from heaven.
All right, let's hit our final timeout here in hour number one. We'll wrap up the first hour next on ESPN Radio.
Orange Pride, do you think that what Kyan Anthony is making in NIL came from the university or a collective? He's probably making all of his money off of his Nike deals and stuff like that. I doubt he took any money out of the pool. Yeah, the coaching staff is going to get fired if they don't make the tournament. I don't get why you guys don't get that. Yes, he clearly makes his... Remember when we had Red on last week and you guys said, oh, yeah, you guys asked all the good questions and made it uncomfortable? I will not be. I have to stay back and do the lacrosse game because Tim will be with women's basketball. No drive time today either because Tim got snowed in. No, but you guys, nobody said that we asked good questions and it was awkward. Okay, LA Orange. I literally asked Coach what the disconnect was between him and his players, and he got upset with it. Yeah, they told people to stay home yesterday. What's his legacy going to be? He was a great player at Syracuse and a bad coach. That's his legacy if it happens. You know, they'll probably announce he stepped down at the end of the season. You know, that's one thing people got to realize. He is Syracuse, and you just can't be dicks about it.
I think he said, I think he used the word focus. He said, right? He said it's a lack of focus. He said it wasn't a disconnect.
Yeah, well, that seems like he's putting it all on the player.
No, I know. Right. Well, he said he couldn't remember what the word was. I think that's the word.
Nobody wants him humiliated. Everybody gets a boner when the student section starts chanting for him to be fired. How did he get snowed in? He's in North Carolina and couldn't get a flight out. His feet are too small to coach. That is correct, Gaper. Shout out to boners. I'll give you that. I will allow that in our chat. You can have standards for the program and not be a dick. No, they probably, like, if you had to ask people from Miami to come to Syracuse, they're probably not coming. That's fine. You can boo them. It doesn't mean I don't think you're a dick for doing it. I didn't say you couldn't. You don't think Donnie and George have any of the blame in this? It's just the coaching? You're a dope on it. I stick at my job.
2 in a row.
It's rolling to hour number 2. You like this one?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's not a great bump back, but yeah.
Let her cook. Martika. This is a banger. I don't care what you say,
This
Steve.
is a fast forward. This is a skip if it comes out at the gym.
This is not a skip ever in life.
If you say so.
This reminds me of like my senior year in high school, Steve. I'm cooking. Shut up. I just need a break. I need a break from this show. Thank you for coming in today. We're the only 2 people in the building besides the producers.
We're literally the only people in the building.
Everybody else got to stay home for us. But we are gluttons for punishment and said, you know what? Let's let people call us idiots and stupid in the chat for hours.
Can't wait. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go get humiliated.
Let's go.
And let's go to Mark in New York.
Mark's a good caller. Mark, what's up?
Well, I'm in the office in my end as well, so there's some solidarity
You're
there.
a man.
Obviously about this Syracuse basketball coaching situation, I've seen the takes all over social media that, there's a camp of people that are interested in Jerry McNamara becoming a head coach at Syracuse, and there's a camp of people that are saying no way. And I'm curious, I don't know what camp you guys are in, but if you guys are in the camp of no way bringing in Jerry, I'm curious what your rationale is. I mean, Jerry took over a Siena program that had 3 wins, and in year 1, he turned it around to 14 wins. In year 2, he's already matched that 14-win total. They're 14-7, third place in the MAC, so he's done really quite well at Siena and has proved that he can coach. And then I think more importantly, if he were to become the Syracuse coach, is he would crush it for NIL. I mean, just think about it. He's a 2005, 2006 grad. That means the people in their careers that are kind of in their prime of their careers are the ones with the big checkbooks and, even older. And, if someone in their office has Jerry McNamara step into their office, I mean, he's a Syracuse legend. I really think he'd crush it with NIL. And, maybe when they were deciding between Adrian and Jerry, they just flat out made the wrong decision. Jerry's truly our answer here. So I'm just curious your take about what's the reasoning why you would not hire Jerry.
Because this could happen again. What's happening now, that would be 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think the world of Jerry. Everybody knows this who listens to the show. I think he's an awesome coach. He's having great success there. I'm not surprised he's having great success there. I think he's going to be a great head coach wherever he goes next. I think that the argument, the reason you're getting pushback by some SU fans is that they want separation from the Boeheim tree, and they want a fresh start, right, Paulie? I mean, we've been hearing that for several years about.
Do you know what I want?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I want them, if it comes to this, right? We're not there yet. Let's let this year play out. Here we go. Here's what, if they do a coaching search, I want them to get the right guy. If it's Jerry McNamara, I hope they got the right guy. If it's somebody outside, I hope they get the right guy. They got to get the right guy. It could be Jerry. It could not be. But that's on the athletic department to figure that out.
I also think it would be difficult for John Wildhack to say, you know what, I screwed up with Red. I should have hired Jerry All. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be. I would be a little bit surprised if he got the job next year. Let's put it that way. But I think he would be great. I do. Yeah. I think Jerry's a hell of a coach. and will be a hell of a coach and has a long career ahead of him, and I think he's going to succeed wherever he goes. I don't know. I think that there is definitely a faction of the fan base, though, and several comments in our chat right now indicate that want a departure from what we've seen in the last few years.
Get it right. If it comes to that. Let's go to Dro and Clay. Dro, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Long time no talk. Hope all is well. I'm all over the place. There's so much to talk about here. I'm going to go as fast as I can. I know I talk fast, so bear with me. Okay, first off, Pat's call. Pat was definitely not saying that's the reason we lost in the missed dunk. And as we all know, Pat can probably find 75 reasons why we not just in the missed dunk. So with that being said, I know, Paul, you're saying the season isn't over yet. Technically, it's not. I think they need 23 wins to make the NCAA tournament, okay?
Okay.
If they get the 23 wins, they can get to the tournament. Now, you know me. I'm a positive guy. I'm a homer. People tell me that all the time. If I'm telling you it's not going to happen, you pretty much know it's probably not going to happen. As for the next
I
coach
agree
for
with
next
you there.
year,
I agree with you on that. It's just you got to let it happen. Before.
Right. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Probably not, but hey,
Yeah.
until there's a chance, hey, I've been waiting 30 years for the Dallas Cowboys to make the Super Bowl. Probably not going to happen in the next 30 either. But there's always that hope. Okay. So, as for the next coach, I do believe if you hire Jerry McNamara as much, I'm saying hypothetically, as much as the fan base loves him, you'll have a revulsion. Unfortunately, he can't get the job. Now, it's my belief that Jim Boeheim wanted Jerry McNamara to be the next coach, but I believe, in my opinion, the university was so upset with Jim Boeheim, they went opposite of what he said. And the other thing we got to talk about, too, the university is a hot mess, as we know. They better get a chancellor very soon so they can make a decision on if we need a new coach, if and when that does happen. Not saying it's not going to happen, but we're going to assume the team does not make the tournament and Autry will be relieved of his duties. They better have a chancellor in place by then, or next thing you know, who knows what's going to happen. But I agree with you, Paulie, as well. We need the right guy. I think what the fan base wants is a splash. They want a big-time coach to come in. We're not going to pay Rick Pitino and Nate Oates money. It's not going to happen. Nate Oates will not leave Alabama to come here. He would.
Would you
but
want
the
Nate Oates? Would you like?
No, what?
Like, come on. I know you're not saying it, but Nate Oates is a dumpster fire. Like he's pulling kids out of the G League.
Right. I guess I'm throwing a name out there like that. What I guess I'm trying to say is this. The university is not going to pay the amount of money to get a head coach. They never cared. We've been very spoiled with Jim Boeheim and getting the hometown discount. We did. And that's what happened. But we're not going to go pay out there. And honestly, if this whole thing could have been solved if Jim would have left in 2018 and Mike Hopkins would have taken over. And I'm telling you right now, that's a fact. If Jim wants to get mad at me for saying that he put us in this position, he can. I know Jim's going after Pat. He can come after me, too. I don't care. He put us in this position. You guys can't say that because you work for the university, so I respect that. But this is why we are where we are.
Steve, you work for the university? Can we get that out of here? Steve doesn't work for the university.
I do not. I do teach a class, but that has nothing to do with this.
I am independently contracted by people who are associated with the university.
Yes, nobody tells us what to say.
Yeah.
Again, I think you do have to keep in mind that Adrian Autry was the associate head coach, and I don't want to get into why one was picked over the other. They wanted to keep it in-house. They made the selection they did, and it's gone the way it has, right? Autry's been here 3 years. Jerry went off after a year, and he's been at Siena now too, and he's building the program there. I think it's unfortunate that some just eliminate Jerry right off the bat because he's associated with the program. I do think that it would be difficult, given the temperature of the room right now, to go down that path. But like I said, I think Jerry's a great coach, and I'm sure that they will look at him if the time, if and when the time comes. But I can also, see that them going outside the family for this one.
Adriano says, Oates is a dumpster fire. Red's what? Yes, it's been bad under Red. I'm saying Syracuse University isn't going to hire somebody with the baggage Nate Oates currently has.
Yeah. And
do you want that guy as your?
I think we need to just stop bringing his name up. He works at Alabama.
Yeah, they don't have the money. Yeah.
There's no way on earth that even if they wanted him and he wanted to come here, that they would pay him enough to get him. It's not happening. So I understand, why Vito brought up the name, because that was a name that came up in the past.
Yeah, when he was at Buffalo.
Right, but that is not happening.
Yeah.
Tony Bennett is not happening. Jay Wright is not happening.
I mean, you make the calls.
Yeah, but you're not getting those guys.
I mean, you know what? We need a guy who's had players involved in felonies, and not just the felonies the good felonies. The earn it felonies. Let's go to Scooter in Jamesville.
Scooter, what's up?
Maybe it's just Goodfellas. I don't know. But guys, what was the difference in the mentality? Now I'm just going to point this out, and I've seen enough in Virginia Tech's a prime thing. We almost pulled the Virginia Tech game out because we tried in the last 2 minutes to get the ball back. We fouled. We put the press on. And we came in, like Paulie said, a nice 3-point wide open shot, and also a missed rebound off a foul shot, and maybe tying the game and sent overtime. The philosophy I didn't understand the last minute and a half of the Miami game. We're only down 9. It's just to stand there and just let them run the clock out. We didn't try to stretch the game out. We didn't foul them. And to me, I don't understand the different mentality where on Wednesday we're trying that hard. And against Miami, it's like we just threw up the hands. And I don't know what your definition of sense of urgency, but every game is a sense of urgency. And if we're in the game and have a shot and just send them to the free throw line a couple of times, if they hit them, so be it. But the way teams shoot free throws, give them a shot to miss. And it's only 3 possessions with we actually had the ball, I think, one time down 9. And they missed a three-pointer. But I didn't understand the difference in mentality where we scored 18 points against Virginia Tech in the last 3 minutes, only scored 19, I think, in the first 17. But we didn't try in the last minute and a half to try to get the ball back.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a philosophy thing. I think you said it right there. It seemed like they kind of waved the white flag and they kind of gave up in the last minute or so. They had that one possession where I think they initially tried to foul and they couldn't reach the ball handler, and then another 10, 12 seconds went off the clock, and then I think at that point they were like, well, instead of fouling now, let's just play out the possession. But it did feel like they kind of waved the white flag, and Eric Devendorf said that on the telecast.
Let's take a timeout. Or do you want to get Rob?
No, we can take a timeout. Phone lines are jammed right now. So 315-437-7644 if you want to check in. That was our opening drive in hour number 2, brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. We'll get to more of your phone calls next on ESPN Radio.
Happy birthday, Govendo. It is freezing in this studio. I can't work.
Happy birthday, Govendo. Yeah.
What do you mean? Was it the coach who hyped you up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Who was the person
I would say, listen to certain music. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly, I think you hype yourself up, but you also, the coach, I think, bears some responsibility in that.
Oh, yeah.
Before you go on the court, like going over things, that sort of thing.
There's always a coach you want to play.
Yeah.
Throw it in, and then you go out there.
Oh, man. Ew.
Mr. Sibilia?
I got bad post-nasal drip today.
Sick?
No.
Uh-oh.
You accused me last week of being sick.
No, I'm stuffy a little bit, but I'm not sick.
Since how long? You got a cold? What's going on?
I don't have anything.
How'd you sleep last night?
I slept okay. I think that's why I'm stuffy. Is I new apartment, getting used to the dry air. It's all blood when I blew my nose.
It's dry then. You need like a humidifier. You have a humidifier?
Yeah.
I'll turn it up an extra notch.
It's a tumor. It's definitely a tumor. Oh, I wish it was a tumor. I don't have to do this show anymore. You guys are hanging in there today. A lot of people watching, Steve.
Yeah, we've had 90 the whole time. Just on Twitch. YouTube topped 100 at one point.
I hate that people don't listen to what we say.
Well, you can't make them listen. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. It's not everybody. Just a select few.
And I know I'm starting to catch on to L.A. Orange's shtick, you know.
Loud minority.
I'm not supposed to listen to you. It's my. It doesn't say your show. If we were supposed to listen to you, they'd have hired you.
I don't know, like, I didn't experience Brad. Of course, I would have been one.
The funniest thing was when Randolph Childress said that you can't fire a guy after 3 years. Everybody said state-run media, like he's.
I know. Never. We never had a conversation about you.
I know.
Ever. I asked him during the game. I said,
Who hired me? At what job? Who hired me? Nobody hired me. I just showed up one day, Paulie knows. What a weird question. I've been hired multiple times in this business.
if they hired
I'm like Mike McCarthy. I'm a retread. I get fired and rehired. All right, let's take one call in this segment. We'll break and we'll be on time or close to it.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Rob in Baldwinsville. Steve, is that okay with you? The impression I get, by the way. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Do you like this one?
Yeah.
You remember when the band used to play this?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon,
guys.
whatever it is.
I think you guys, you always have done a great job. The biggest thing right now is you're definitely earning your money with the way these fans are getting pretty upset.
It's our fault.
You're earning it.
Yes, thank you.
No, I would say that I'm a big pro Jerry person. My sister graduated. My brother-in-law graduated from Siena. And I'll be honest with you, right now he's improving the free throw shooting percentage, the three-point shooting percentage. They play good defense. They'll run through the wall for him. But the problem is, like you said, Paulie, it's hard to go backwards because it makes John look like he made a mistake. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a concern. I think that's a real possibility, right?
I think if Jerry's the guy, if Red goes, then they'll hire him. If not, they'll hire the person they think is, you know?
Yeah, I think he's certainly going to be in the mix, but I think it may be tough to pull the trigger, given that there are so many fans that just want a fresh start, and given that he was here and they went a different direction, 3 years ago.
And then if the next guy doesn't succeed,
then it's time.
No, but
if
then
he continues to,
then it's you should hire Jerry.
Well, right, but I do wonder
just got to get it right.
I do wonder if you go to the next guy, then it's Jerry's turn the time after that. You know what I mean? If he continues to coach well and, rack up wins and have success wherever he is and wherever he goes, even if they don't hire him this next time, it doesn't mean that he's not going to get hired at some point here. And like I said, I think he's a great coach, and, everything that last caller just said, Rob, about being a great motivator and certainly knows his stuff. And he's done a really good job there. He took a program that won 4 games the year before he took over and, improved their win total a year ago. And now they're 14-7 right now, 7-3, third place in the conference standings. And they legitimately have a shot at winning that conference this year, which is remarkable in just 2 years. He's done a very good job. Doesn't surprise me.
All right, let's take a timeout.
All right, we will try to get back on time. 315-437-7644 if you'd like to check in. We do have today's business on the way. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Doesn't mean it's going to happen. They're not listening to us to make the decision.
I feel like people in the chat either want Patino, Jay Wright, or Jerry Mason. There's a very, very...
Shaka Smart, who's struggling at Marquette.
No. One's won 900 games, the other's won multiple titles. It's Jerry Mason.
Dave in Syracuse. You're getting bumped.
So, is this the second segment that we're about to hit? This is the second segment of hour number 2?
It ran out.
It's cold. Yeah. I'm glad I wore a warm sweater. Yeah, Bill, Gavin Doty is a great player. He's arguably their best player. Skins.
Growing up there, other than they have nobody.
Bixby, so Rivers, as you probably saw, took his name out of the running for the Bills job. My guess is, with that whole thing, is that they brought him in to see if he might be the offensive coordinator. That's my guess. Is that obviously they have a head coaching vacancy right now, so everybody was like, oh, they're bringing him in, to interview for the head coaching job, and I know that's what was said publicly. But my guess is they were kicking the tires on him for offensive coordinator.
Why don't you Google it? You think we're clowns, everything we answer, so why don't you Google it?
No, I think they need an offensive head coach.
Squeeze my nuts. I just hurt my nuts.
They've tried the defensive thing. I think they need an offensive head coach.
Ow. Steve, I don't know what I just did. I pushed my legs together and my nuts crushed. I crushed my own nuts. Ow. That is unacceptable. Lugging this big giant sack around. Just crushed it with my own legs, Steve. You ever done that? Come on, man. Whoever's fighting me right now, stop. Who's messing around with my... You ever tweak
We've
your
all done
sack?
that. We've all done that.
You ever yelled about it?
Don't think so. No.
Carrying this thing around is nuts.
Michael Antonio, I think I think they're probably going to settle on Daboll, if I had to guess.
I hate all the people like Daboll lost the
D. Hayes, tell her you're welcome. Tell her this is just a man talking about what happens in life. Sometimes you tweak your sack. That's my new band, the Tweaked Sacks. We're going to be at the K-Rockathon.
I'm talking Bills here, so give me a second.
Speaking of nuts.
I don't know that they're going to wait 2 more weeks to talk to
that team
Kubiak.
Is balls.
I think they're going to. Oh, okay. All right.
Did it tweak your sack when they interviewed Phillip Rivers? It tweaked my sack when the Steelers hired Mike McCarthy out there. No, I'm not good with Mike McCarthy. Personal friends of mine, Steve. Wang Chung. I know Wang and Chung. I've opened for them. I'm a big star. I've gotten them mad and opened for them. Have pictures with them. This is my humble brag.
So you guys are good now?
Yeah, we're good.
All is well? All right.
I was the opening act for Wang Chung.
After insulting them
I
on the
didn't
radio.
insult them.
No, you did. You did. You put them on the worst song bracket, and they were not happy.
Yeah. But they clearly watch us on Twitter. Follow us, whatever the kids are doing on Twitter.
Let's go to Dave in Syracuse. Dave, how are you today?
Hey, good, guys. Listen, first of all, I really appreciate the forum you guys provide for us to vent. It's been a very hard time for fans, along with everything else. Paulie, I just want to say I appreciate the fact that you come back at people to say ridiculous things. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do it from home. I'm actually glad you call people out when they say stupid things. Whatever.
Yes, your hands are too small. Thank you.
Appreciate it. So I've been thinking about something I wanted to get your guys' take on. Okay, so you're going to put your John Wildhack cap on a second, all right, in making a decision. I feel like John didn't have a huge choice with Adrian. I really do. I think that Adrian had been here the longest. He'd been waiting. There might have been some discrimination factors that were involved. And I didn't feel like he had a complete choice on this matter. So when he makes his next choice, guys, I'm trying to figure out how much he has to weigh in certain things. Like, who can I sell to the fans? Talk to the biggest owners, get their feeling on it. Go with his own gut feeling. I think he has to put all of this stuff into perspective when he's making his decision. I'm just wondering how much you think he has to put into each one of those things before he makes his decision. I think bringing Jerry back would be a tough sell to the fans for some reason. I wanted Jerry to begin with, but maybe it would be tough right now because everyone wants to get off the Boeheim tree. We definitely want to get off the tree of a guy that was the second winningest coach of all time, God forbid. But how much do you think he has to weigh all those things? I mean, it's a tough choice, and I just wanted to get your guys' feeling on that.
I tend to think they'll hire a group to help figure it all out. It's not going to just
I don't
be
think
him.
it's just going to be on him. Correct.
You think all those things are a factor, though, right? That they have to. They have to look at.
Yeah.
Rather than just him saying, I like this guy. He's had a great record here. He's rebuilt. I know the guy at St. Louis is a big name right now. He rebuilt Indiana State. He's rebuilt St. Louis. His team scored 93 points a game, so the entertainment value would be there. But I'm just trying to think of how much John has to weigh these different things before he makes a decision. I didn't know they use groups all the time to help with the decision. But
Yeah, I think it's all encompassing. I mean, it's a huge hire, and he's got to get it right. And the football coach was a huge hire, and he had to get it right. And I think he laid out all of the things that he was going to consider, and then he ended up considering somebody that didn't check all those boxes. So, I do think John Wildhack deserves credit, especially for that particular hiring process that, he laid out, okay, this is what we're looking for. And then he came across a guy that didn't have everything that was on the list, but there's an exception to the rule. And I think that he did go with his gut to some degree, and he vetted him and he asked, everybody that he could about him. Everybody kept saying the same thing about his, how detailed he was. And, I think he made a very good hire with the head football coach. And I think he's going to, go through the process again, and there's going to be people helping him out, and he's got to factor everything into the equation and ultimately settle on one guy.
And let's be honest about the football program, too. If they come out and have another year like they did this year, the Fran Brown hire is going to not look as great as it did, too, to the fan base.
Yeah, I think he's a really good coach, and I think we've seen he has upgraded the talent like that. I said prior to Fran Brown coming here that I thought that there was a certain ceiling that Syracuse was going to hit from a football perspective, especially in this day and age of NIL, and they weren't going to be able to get over that. And I think Fran showed in year one that he was able to get over that, and he has been able to excite the fan base, and he hasn't been able to deliver with NIL, and he's been able to deliver recruiting, both high school kids and bringing in guys out of the portal from programs that we didn't think were possible. So I understand the wins and losses weren't there last year, and there are a lot of reasons for why it went the way that it did, but I think that Fran Brown is a very good football coach.
Yes, I
Can
agree.
he win at Syracuse to the level of that everybody wants? I don't know. I'm not sure anybody can, but I think Fran Brown is a really good football coach.
Yes, I agree. But if he comes out and it's like this, do you think our chat's not going to be the exact same way?
I get that, but I'm saying I think John Wildhead got it right. Regardless of how next season goes, I think John Wildhead got the football coach right.
Okay. That's a wild take. That if they come out and they win 3 games next year, he got the hire right?
So he didn't upgrade the program with the hire.
Yeah.
Fran Brown has not upgraded the program.
Well, no, they did, yes. With players, you've got to win.
I'm not sure he can win. I'm not sure anybody can win long term the way that you're talking about win. Like, I'm not sure that
I'm talking about better than last year.
Yeah,
if they come out and have a year like they did last year, it's not going to go well.
I would be shocked if they're not better than last year.
Yeah, I probably would be too.
Yeah. So, yes, we could revisit this conversation. I'm not saying that they can, go 4-8 and everything is all hunky-dory. I think they're going to be better than last year. He upgraded the program with the hire, and that's what you're trying to do.
Yes, what I'm saying, guys, he won 10 games his first year. He had a bad year last year. If he has a bad year next year, the fan base is going to be vocal and noisy about it.
And I'm not saying winning doesn't matter. How do you describe winning? Is winning 8 games, 9 games? I don't know if they can do that. 7 to 8
wins. Okay. Yes, that's fine.
Get to a bowl game? I think they're getting to a bowl game. And if they don't, then yes, we can revisit this conversation. I think they're going to be better than next year. John Wildhead brought in a guy who immediately elevated the program in year one. And last year did not go well for a number of reasons. And I think next year they'll be back into a bowl game, and we'll see where it goes from there.
All right.
Yes, winning matters to some degree, but if you're defining winning as 10 games every year, I don't know if anybody can do that
here.
You
just can't do what you did last year.
Correct. And I don't think they will. So that does matter. Yes, if they flounder next year, then we can revisit this conversation.
What do fish have to do with this?
All right. Shall we take a time out and then get to today's visit? Poor Paul here is standing by.
Now you're blaming everything, including fish.
Poor Paul's been in here for the last half hour.
Just dad joking this up here. I've heard a lot of excuses for the coaching, but blaming it on flounder?
I got a dad joke for you in the break. We'll take a time out. Back after this.
QSportsTalk.com if you want to hear it.
Back after this on ESPN Radio.
All right, let's go. Oh, he's getting ready.
No, I'm giving people time to log on if they're. I don't want them to miss it. I don't want to have to repeat it. No, we're not taping this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. A priest, a minister, and a rabbit go to a blood drive, and the rabbit sits down, and the nurse says, "What's your blood type?" to the rabbit, and he says, "I think I'm a typo."
I don't even know what the hell that means.
At least he laughs. He laughed. Paul laughed.
Horrible.
Well, it's a dad joke, so.
Yeah, you said rabbit.
Rabbit.
Okay.
A priest, a minister, and a rabbit go to a blood drive. Typo, get it? I'm a typo? It's supposed to be rabbi? I'm a typo?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even.
He didn't get it.
But it's not. But it's not a typo when you're speaking. Yeah, no, that's how you.
Making the joke literal.
Yeah, I did. That's a fucking stupid joke. I do need help.
I said it was a dad joke. I know it was awful, but
your Hawaii joke was way better.
It's supposed to be awful.
Can we do like a dad joke of the day?
I don't know. I don't think the people liked it.
Yeah, leave the humor to me. L.A. Orange finally got something right.
It was a dad joke. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be bad.
It was exactly as sold. Dad joke.
Well, I didn't come up with the joke, guys. I was just repeating it.
Probably just after you got to shout off him for a minute.
Dad joke bracket would be fun. Would you do that?
There you go.
Tell a dad joke every day, then one of them advances.
It was a bad joke.
It was a bad joke. It was both. It was
There
a
was
dad
no
joke.
way. You should have retired after your Hawaii joke because you killed it with that one.
My go-to is the bear joke about the. Yeah.
With the dad joke bracket,
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know if I can wrap my
I'm
head around that
hosting
again.
post game tomorrow, so
I mean, a watch party? Jordan?
I don't know. I can watch at my house now. It's right up the street and get here.
All right, Florida guy, the bear joke. I think I've told it on here before, but maybe I haven't. A bear walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "What do you want?" And the bear says, "I'll have a rum and Coke." And the bartender says, "Why the pause?" He says, "I was born with them."
You said it too fast. Your delivery sucked. You're supposed to go, "What do you have?" A rum and Coke.
No, rum and...
No, you're supposed
That's a joke.
No, you go, "What do you have?" And then you sit there quiet for like 10 seconds, and then you go, "Why the pause?" Isn't a pause, it's a stutter.
Oh, my God. Okay.
What do you have? A rum and Coke.
It slows it down too much.
No, it's a
Slows it down.
pause.
It slows it down.
No, you got to work on your timing there, Carrot Top.
Well, good thing I don't do it for a living.
I'm shocked that Steve sucks at telling jokes.
Oh, fine. Now I'm never going to tell a joke again.
Because you didn't even pause. You read that like a speed reader.
I wasn't reading. It was not reading. That's all right. My job's not to tell jokes. It's his job.
Phil Collins. This is one you don't hear often. Dance into the Lights, Steve. You remember this song? I keep seeing stories about Phil Collins and it depresses me. Like he's got bad knees and,
You keep seeing stories about Phil Collins and his bad knees?
Yeah, and his bad health, and he just can't walk anymore, and he can't stand, and he can't play drums, and it's sad. Getting old. I love Phil Collins.
Yeah.
I love Genesis. Seeing him in concert. Not top 5.
No.
But I love him. It's a banger. All right, speaking of bangers.
Paul's been sitting here for like the last half hour. We're sorry to keep you waiting.
He's a professional.
No, it's fine. It's time for today's business, brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. Should we start? Let's start with the Bills.
Propane?
Propane? Well, Steve criticized me, and then I got in my head, and so then I rushed it.
Yeah.
But, the sponsor still got named. Let's start with the Bills. You have a lot to say right now about their head coaching hire, their search, and where they're going with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who they're ultimately going to land on. Something in the chat asked who I think they're going to hire. I think they're going to hire Brian Daboll, and I think especially now that the Seahawks won yesterday, now they would have to wait 2 weeks to interview Clint Kubiak. If they had already interviewed him once, they could talk to him during the bye week. They have not interviewed him yet, so now they got to wait the 2 weeks. That's my understanding of the way the rule works, is that they would have to wait 2 weeks to have that initial interview with him now. I don't think they're going to wait that long, maybe, but my guess is let's put it this way. If they don't name a coach this week, then that might be the indication that he's the guy. Otherwise, I think they're going to name a coach this week. And my guess, and this is just a guess, I think they'll end up going with Daboll.
Basically, every big job has been filled. Not really throwing the Browns in that category. They're kind of the last one, no matter what their owner says. And I think you got to go with Daboll just because Josh Allen knows him. Josh Allen won him over. People say Daboll lost the locker room and with the Giants. The two main guys with the Bills, in my opinion, love him. Deion Dawkins, Josh Allen. Those two guys will push him up. They will say he will get us to where we need to go. We've been very successful with him as the offensive coordinator. He'll be back to calling plays for Josh Allen. That was very successful. It's what got him ultimately hired, I'd say.
And he's, Josh is in on the interviews too. So I think, I don't know how much of a say Josh is going to have. I would imagine that they're going to listen to him. They want him there for his career, and they want him to be happy. And so I'm not saying that his, opinion is the only one that matters, but we know that they are close, and that, and that's the thing too, because when he was there, like Brian Daboll was hard on Josh Allen, but it worked out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he got the best out of Josh and vice versa. Josh got the best got the best out of Daboll and vice versa. And so I think, I think they may try to recreate that in Buffalo. And, he's a Buffalo guy. Josh likes him. He does have head coaching experience. Obviously, it didn't go great in New York, but I think that they look at this as it's a different franchise. And they're gonna set him up for success here. So we shall see. But that's the way I think they're going.
I will also say, how is Josh Allen past the age of 30?
He's 29.
29.
I think.
So I mean, we're getting to the point where you can't restart. You got to bring in someone he knows, and I think Daboll is the perfect hire for that. He knows them. They know the system. They know each other. And actually, I think it extends. They got to go get a receiver or something like that.
Well,
but it ultimately, I think Daboll extends their championship window. I don't think Clint Kubiak does that. I think they'll still be good, but I don't think it extends their window.
I do worry a little bit about bringing in a first-time head coach, because there is going to be a learning curve with that. And so I'm not saying that he can't be great down the road, but I think that you may – I don't know if it's realistic for him to come in year one, lead the team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You would expect that there might be some growing pains and, a misstep along the way that may keep you from going there. So now, are you waiting until Josh turns 30 in May? Are you waiting until he's 31 to now make that run? And I know it's only a year, but I don't know. I think the Bills are looking for somebody who's got head coaching experience and, who Josh signs off on, and Daboll obviously fits the bill with both of those things.
Well, speaking of Clint Kubiak and the Seahawks, right, because Mike McDaniel, second year as a head coach, taking the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel, second stop, but second year with the Patriots. As far as the rundown, there's really a lack of excitement, I feel like. There hasn't been the same level of, I know it's been one day, but I feel like in past years, and maybe it's because the Chiefs and Mahomes and it was all that, and they're coming off these games against the Bills where it's going down to scoring in 18 seconds or whatever it was. I just feel like there's not...
13,
there you go. See, yeah, you knew it. There's just not that level of excitement.
Are you over the loss yet?
No, he's never going to get over that.
Not that one, just the most recent one.
Yesterday was hard, and I said that all along, that I thought it would take until I got past the AFC Championship, but now that I got to see the Patriots play in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, I think it's going to linger for me. It's going to linger for me until after the Super Bowl.
You have a rooting interest in the Super Bowl.
100%, yes.
Look, we're at a point.
I had a rooting interest yesterday. I was big time rooting for the Broncos. That was painful to watch the Patriots go to the Super Bowl yesterday.
What was it, 86 passing yards? We're at a point where, in my short life, the Patriots are going to their 10th Super Bowl with a chance to win their 8th. I'm 25 years old. They're about to go to their 10th Super Bowl in my life. All I've known is Patriots Super Bowls, really.
That's great.
So,
yeah.
Your life's been longer than it should have been. The fact that you made it to 25 is a miracle.
Hey.
All right. Ready for your kicker, Steve?
Yeah.
All right, I'll ask you guys this. What do you think the most stolen thing from hotel rooms is? I got them in order here.
I will say...
Number 1, 2, and 3. We'll go.
Towels have to be on the list.
Number 1, towels.
Okay.
Pillows? We got pillows on
That
the
is
list?
number 3.
Pillows.
That's weird because other people's gross heads have been on them.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, like the shampoo and soap is not stealing, right?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. The reason for this article is people complain about hotel prices and people are always stealing things out of them.
So shampoo and soap is too?
Those are kind of considered like gifts because they're
right.
That's what I've always thought.
What I said. So it doesn't really count then.
Yeah.
Sheets?
Number 4 on the list was kind of wild. Sheets would be bonkers.
Yeah.
That's gross. The bathrobes is number 2.
I was going to say bathrobes. I didn't know how many places do that anymore,
Yeah,
though.
see, I don't use a bathroom.
Hangers is number 4. That's bonkers because they're weird. Like, the hangers don't fit normal like, hanger things. They've made them so
right.
So I can't imagine that you would steal those.
Yeah. The bathrobe surprises me. I was going to say bathrobe, but how many places actually do that anymore?
A lot. There's usually one. I've been in a lot of hotel rooms in my life, and I've never once put the robe on.
Me neither. No.
But now I want to just get naked and put it on.
Why?
No, just my naked body has been in it, and then I put it back on the hanger. How do they know to wash it?
I think they
just wash everything inside the room. I mean, they should.
You are really, really
giving them too much credit.
Yeah,
I would hope they wash everything. I'm not saying they do, but I would hope.
What if I put it on and just walked around the hotel in it?
For what purpose?
Just to show that I'm wearing the robe.
I would imagine, like, if your robe wasn't there, couldn't they charge you? Like if
I guess. But you'd think, like, they say remotes get stolen a lot too. Like, who the hell is taking a remote?
I feel like that's got to be by accident.
Yeah,
accident.
Put it in your pocket or something.
Walk out with a big ass remote in your pocket.
I was thinking the suitcase.
The remotes are big.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
No,
I feel like the hotel.
Could they could charge
you
for it
after the fact if you take the bathrobe. If the bathrobe's not in the room, then charge the people.
Well, you could just say it wasn't there when I got there. Like,
I suppose.
And
if you wanted to appeal it,
and they're just going to say okay because you're the customer.
Right. How many people are actually going to call though and argue about a bathrobe?
Everybody.
I feel like
if you get like $150 charge for a bathrobe,
$150.
Yeah, they're probably going to charge you an exorbitant.
Four Seasons.
Yeah, what do you think? They charge you $20 for the bathrobe?
I was thinking $50.
I think they will overcharge you to deter you from stealing it again.
Probably. Yeah.
Not the Ritz-Carlton here. $150 a bathrobe.
Yeah, you don't accidentally leave with a remote either. I've been in a lot of. I've taken the glasses because I thought they were cool once or twice. I'm like, that'd be a good rocks glass to have a drink in. People say the Bible. I've never stolen the Bible.
Who's stealing a Bible? That's. I feel like that's
washcloths.
I
have taken the washcloths. I'm not.
You have?
Yeah.
Really?
But isn't it the same as the pillows? Right? I mean, it's been on people's
it's probably
faces.
worse.
Yeah, I think same with towels.
Yeah, the towels.
Towels been elsewhere.
The towels have been in worse places than the pillows, you would think.
We know about you and washcloths. You've talked about this before.
So there you go.
Interesting.
Right.
Do you have more? You said you did the top 4. What's 5 on the list? Or did you already click
There
off
were
one?
hangers, remotes.
Oh, remote was 5?
Yeah, they're in there.
Okay.
Soaps, Yeah.
I don't look at that as stealing either, because once you open, if it's the hand soap, once you open it, they can't use it again. But why would you, like where are you going to put it?
Yeah.
How are you going to transport it home?
Bring that home.
Philly's Most Wanted says they know somebody that stole one and it was $100 for. I'm guessing he's talking about the robes.
That's it. Jeez.
Interesting.
It's an expensive robe.
Yeah. Well, like Paulie said, you want to deter people from taking them. That has never crossed my mind.
Kevin says toilet paper. I used to travel with a guy who would take the extra roll of toilet paper every time he left the hotel room.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so thin. And
it's
just,
one ply. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
I always steal the toilet paper from like my apartment building bathroom. Because no one ever uses it. So I always take it from there.
There's a public bathroom in your
apartment building? Yeah. Well, it's not public. It's just for like if people are in the lobby, they can use it.
And you...
I've been doing that since, well, in college, there was one time during Halloween where everyone could dress up as mummies. And I'm in college, and I'm like, I'm absolutely going to take that toilet paper and use it for what it's meant to be used for.
No, it wasn't me. Someone says I'm talking about me. No, I don't like hotel TP. I'm with Steve. It's too thin.
Yeah.
I need my toilet paper girthy also, Steve. I need more than one ply.
Way to fit that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would think someone would steal the hair dryers because they got the little bag.
No, those are crap. They're such useless.
I like when I go into a
finicky
hotel
hairdressers.
and they still have the phone next to the toilet. That was always that showed you were in a fancy hotel if there was a phone right next to the toilet. So you could call room service while on the throne, Steve, like a king. Please bring me my food.
Okay, I think this conversation has run its course. We'll,
What do you think makes a fancy hotel? I don't know why that always stuck in my head that if there was a phone in the bathroom, oh, this place was fancy.
What makes a fancy hotel?
I put the robe in there.
I was going to say, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many robes I've seen lately in a hotel room, but I mean, you travel more than I do. But I think that would qualify.
You know what else makes a fancy hotel now is the Bluetooth mirror. It is awesome. So the mirror plays your music while you're in the shower.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Great conversation. Let's hit our final timeout. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
Does make a fancy. That's a good question.
We stay at Marriott's with the team.
I don't know. The Biltmore Hotel was pretty darn nice. Ornate, I'd say. All right. Well, David will be coming in here for the pick. I have a eye appointment.
I like the rain. The showers that have the rain. Yeah, those are nice.
Honestly, a fancy hotel for me is one is a shower I can fit in. I'm too tall.
Ooh, a bidet. I've never even seen a hotel with a bidet.
Do you have this problem in hotels?
Mint on the pillow.
Mint?
They don't do
that. Oh,
that.
chocolate? If they leave like chocolate or something, maybe?
Your hand towel's shaped like a goose.
Yeah, when they do that on Disney cruises. Every night you come back, new character made out of the towels.
It was called the Bristol Hotel, Ryan Mullen. Don't come at me with your stupid rap trivia.
There's hotel trivia? You've classed it or is it online?
I had to cancel class today because they moved everything online. So, and we had to anchor in the studio today. So, kids got a free day off.
Yeah, so as someone who's taken, I'll say here, Professor Infanti's class, I can assure you, he does not work for the university.
Yeah,
it's just not. He does his own thing, his own way, and it works. And nobody at the university tells him how to teach or say or any of that. Would you want Grant?
No, my class, Kevin. My class on Mondays is at 8 a.m. So they, the school, I had no say in the matter. They moved all classes online today. So, what we had planned was a in-studio exercise, and so we're just going to postpone it a week. I've already adjusted what we're going to do. We'll just do one less critique session, and we'll get back on track. So, stupid show, yeah.
All right, David.
I'm all excited to go home.
Walk home?
Maybe that's why you don't feel you're walking in the cold.
I think I'm stuffed because of the cold in here. Like, being cold creates mucus.
It is cold. It's been cold in this building all day.
No show. I'll do the bookkeeping on the shows. It's called a bulb, not a head. You must not be Italian. So they paid. You're saying they paid $700 to a guy who couldn't get on the floor at UCLA? Find it hard to believe. Would he get closer to $1 million this year? I'd probably say yeah. Yeah, they do. Both teams, I think, stay at hotels for home games. Keep the riffraff out. Make sure they go to bed. Come on with this. We're not voting.
We're not voting.
What?
Oh.
When I say goodbye.
We're just doing Paulie's bumps until Syracuse wins a conference game again.
Oh, wow. We're in this for the long haul, then?
Yeah. Some bookkeeping. Steve, you like this song?
I do, not to work out to, but yeah.
Why do you keep saying that? Do you only listen to music when you work out?
What do you work out to?
Do you work out?
I do work out, and I have my Spotify on when I work out.
Okay, I know, but like, why do you keep saying that over every song? Like, we're not working out right now, and we're listening to this.
So you just listen while you're driving to Spotify. You don't listen to the radio.
Yeah, no, I listen to both. Like, sometimes I'm home, I listen to this. Like, it works in other places.
If I'm doing stuff around the house, or if I'm working out, I listen to Spotify. Other than that, I'm listening to the radio.
Okay. That's fine, but can you stop saying I would not work out to this every song?
So I guess
they're bumps right now.
I know the way I look at it is if it's something you would work out to, it's a good bump. It's upbeat. It hypes you up a little bit. This doesn't hype me up.
The Power of Love by Luther Vandross doesn't hype you up?
No. I guess that's why I said it.
All right.
So you want me to say it's not a great bump back?
No, just say it's got nothing to do with bumps or the gyms. Do you like this song?
When you say, do you like this?
Yes, do you like this song? It's not a
I like this song.
Yes,
not as a bump back.
Okay. I just can't with you. Just say you like it's just playing. It's just playing, dude. It's just a song comes on. Do you like it? Yes.
Do I like the song? Okay.
I wouldn't drive to it, but I like it.
Yeah. It's just
if I was driving and it came on, I would skip it.
Just okay. So you don't like it then? In what situation would you listen to that song?
I just said that because David said I wouldn't drive to it. I like the song not as a bump back. That's all. End of story.
Okay.
Period. Full stop.
But we're just playing songs,
okay.
Steve.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Okay.
I like Luther.
Okay.
I like Luther.
So stop. Tomorrow when we play a song I don't want to hear, I wouldn't work out to this song because I don't care if you'd work out to it. I just want to know if you like the song. All right?
It's a good song.
Would you bake to that song? If you were baking? Come on, let's do that. Let's break it down. Hey, I'm home baking right now.
I'm going to show my kids this song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it if that came out while I was baking. Yes.
Okay, there you go. That's gonna be your level right now. Okay, if I'm baking right now, would this song work? All right, some bookkeeping. There will be no Tim Leonard show or Coach Jack show tonight. The team is potentially just leaving now. I haven't heard from Tim in a while, but they're still in North Carolina, so they are not back yet. So there will be no drive time or Coach Jack show tonight.
Okay.
Woohoo.
And we don't have to pick an artist of the day because we're going to keep doing it.
Dominic says, Steve, you answer questions in such an argumentative manner. It's like hearing Paul talk to an 11-year-old.
I was not arguing. I was expanding on the answer.
I asked you, do you like this song? I wouldn't work out to it. Like, well, who cares? I didn't ask you. I just asked you if you like the song.
Okay.
That's the whole point of the thing is, do I listen to good music or not?
That's a good song. I like Luther.
Steve, you know this song?
Same answer as the last one.
Sign Your Name.
Same answer.
Do you like this song?
Same answer.
See, you're just being a jerk right now. Do you like Sign Your Name by Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Short answer is no.
No, I like the song. But
there's no buts.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Do you like this song?
This is a yes.
Okay.
In all categories.
I'm not ending the show until you just play right. All right, here we go. Tone low. You can just say yes or no, because this song you probably don't like, because it's Chiba Chiba, y'all.
Give me one more.
Did I? you like this song, Steve?
Is this George Michael?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, David. No more.
Did you guys see Steve's made me skip over Chiba Chiba by Stone Logue?
You wanted to finish on a yes, right?
Couldn't answer a song about weed.
You wanted to end on a yes, right?
No, I would have taken a no.
Oh, you would have taken a no. I thought you wanted to end on a yes. I always tell the kids, like, when they practice sports, shooting hoops or whatever, end on a make. So I wanted to end on a make. So we end on a yes. For David, for Paul, for Paulie, I'm Steve. Enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
NIL in the ACC.
Middle of the pack, I would say.
People may not want to hear this, but that's the nature and what this is now. I still think year 3 is a bit much in saying this is your first real year of having a good NIL roster.
Orange Nation, noon to 2. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1.
Visit hundreds of home improvement vendors under one roof at the